Hey, it's day 2 of the visibility experiment. I have some thoughts. First of all, there was a lot less resistance coming into this today. I was like, okay, it's time to do the thing, and I'm just going to do the thing. I was feeling a bit unwell today, and even before my mind could start to make excuses about, oh, I'm not well, I'm going to skip it, nobody's going to see this anyway, I was like, no, there is an upload date on this video. They need to be 30 days in a row. I can't mess around with this. I made a promise to myself. Do I want to feel like shit the way that I did over the past 4 days? No. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it unwell. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to do it feeling blah. But I am going to do it. And so here I am. The other thing I realized is that it's probably not the best idea for me to aim for a 15-minute time limit. And the reason for that is because I want to train myself to be able to say a thing that I want to say. And I might be done with that in 4 minutes or 5 minutes, or it might take me 15 or 20 minutes. And I want to have that flexibility. I mean, this is my experiment. I can do it however I want. But also, the training should be about learning how to say a thing effectively and showing up for that, not showing up for 15 minutes. And those are two different things. So I don't want to create that artificial constraint around what I'm trying to do here. So they are probably not all going to be 15 minutes long. So now here I am. I think I really didn't even think about what we were going to talk about today, but I think today I want to talk about my favorite journaling exercise. So I made up this exercise by myself, and I'm really proud of it, and it has served me very well. So I'd like to share. It's basically my problems journal. And, there's a lot of talk about being grateful and having a gratitude journal. And somehow that wasn't really working for me. Because I am upset about some things, and I don't want to pretend like I'm not upset about those things. And, I've been consuming these audios from Abraham Hicks for a long time. And one point that she makes, which I really appreciate her for, is that as you're moving up the scale of human emotions, only you can know if a movement is up or down. So, for example, anger is considered an unpleasant or an undesirable emotion. And sure, like your 10 out of 10 response would be Zen and love and light and all of that. But you can't get there from where you are without going through all the steps. And if where you are is apathy or shame or guilt, then feeling the anger is actually a step up. So it should be welcomed as such. It should be recognized as progress rather than a failure. So I figured, you know what? This is where I am. These are the things that are upsetting me. I don't want to gaslight myself. I don't want to pretend like this isn't happening or that I'm not mad about it. So I am going to write about it. And so here's what I did. I got myself a book, a notebook. I wrote a pact on the first page. I wrote a pact with the universe, with God, with management, whatever you want to believe. But I wrote a pact. I said, I promise that I'm going to do my best to solve the problems of my life with all of the tools that I've been given and the knowledge and the wisdom and the resources and the people and everything. I'm going to do my best. However, you made me, and I'm here kind of against my will. So if there's a problem that I can't solve, I'm doing this with a complete faith that you will solve the ones that I can't. So we got to meet each other halfway. I'll do my best to solve what I can, and you got to promise, and I'm going to trust you to pick up and solve the problems that I can't. So with that out of the way, on the first page, what I did is I would dedicate a whole page to each individual problem. And what I would do is I would write with a black pen on the first couple of lines what the problem is. So I don't like, and this is a real example, I don't like that one of the bulbs in my kitchen has blown out. And then I pick up a blue pen and I start imagining solutions to the problem. So maybe I can go tomorrow and buy a new bulb and change it. Maybe I can call building maintenance and they can come and replace this bulb. Maybe I can move home and then this bulb just isn't going to bother me because I'm not even in this kitchen anymore. Maybe tomorrow morning when I wake up, the bulb isn't going to annoy me. And that's important. That's an important one, because the problem isn't the bulb. The problem is that I don't like that it's gone out, right? That's two different things. So if tomorrow I wake up and it's not a problem, then it's not a problem. And the one about moving home seems a bit far-fetched, but this is an exercise in imagination. It's not meant to be realistic. It's truly an exercise in imagination, because a lot of the problems that we have are truly imaginary. So we should use our creative abilities to come up with solutions. And something happens, when I write all of these solutions, I feel very, first of all, grounded. I feel like I've got that thing off my chest. I've complained to the manager directly. I feel like I'm being heard. That's the thing, right? I feel validated in my problem. And because it's a journal, right, it's very private, I don't feel ashamed or embarrassed to write even very small problems like a light bulb. Like, I will scan through my whole day and find anything that even slightly irritated me, and I will write it down because I deserve it, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. So I feel like I'm being heard. I feel validated, and now the writing of the solutions makes me feel like I'm not helpless. I can do something about this for myself, and often writing those solutions down is the step that helps me feel like, okay, this one I could actually do. So in that particular instance, I called the building management and I said, hey, the bulb is blown out. Can you send somebody to fix it? And because I'd written it down, I wasn't feeling stressed. I didn't feel like, oh, a lot rides on this. Like, I'll be so disappointed if they don't do it. And so you able to state your case very calmly, as if it's already done, very relaxed, because I knew that if they say no, then I've got a few other solutions that I've written in my notebook. And they said, yeah, of course we can come. And then the next day they came and just replaced the bulb, and that was that. And actually, as it turned out, really all of those things happened, because the next day when I woke up, it didn't bother me anymore. And they changed it, and I did end up moving house a few months after that. But yeah, so being able to write problems, no matter how small they are, makes me feel very, very seen, very validated, because it drives home this point that I'm not here to tolerate my life. I'm here to enjoy it. And even the slightest, smallest inconvenience, I'm allowed to complain about it, because management is listening, is looking for feedback on how to improve this experience for me. And so the Princess and the Pea, where she was disturbed by that one single pea under her 100 mattresses, I feel like I'm allowed to have that kind of sensitivity as well. It makes me feel very precious. So I love it. And then what I do is once a month, I go back through the journal, and with a purple pen, I write at the bottom of each problem the date and how it actually got solved. So the date is like when I'm writing it, because I don't do this every day. It's not a good idea to be exposed to your problems in written form every day. or just to ruminate on your problems. Like maybe you'd forgotten about this one from 3 days ago and now you've reactivated it. So I only do it once a month. But I write the date of like, if I can remember when that got solved or the day that I'm writing this down. And I write how it actually got solved. And this does, again, two very important things. One is it reassures me that, look, all of my problems do actually get solved. And they get solved quicker than I could have imagined it. And they get solved sometimes in ways that I had written in blue. So that reinforces my confidence in myself that, oh, I do actually know how to solve my problems. I'm so good at this. And sometimes they get solved in ways that I hadn't written. So that tells me that, okay, I'm not being creative enough. I'm not being imaginative enough. And sometimes when I can't think of a solution, it's okay because a solution still exists and will still find its way to me. And I don't have to worry. So this has made me feel very safe and secure. And finally, sometimes I have written problems in my journal where I write the problem and I have no possible solutions to the thing. So I just pick up a green pen and it's a direct call for help. I just write, please help. I don't know. Please help. I don't know how to do this one. Please help. Please help. And I feel like I've done something. Just by putting that down, I feel like, yes, my complaint, my request has been delivered. Somebody's going to see to it that I'm taken care of. And I do this every night before bed because it actually helps me to clear my mind. It helps me like go back through my day and pick out all of the things that I maybe didn't like, and it helps me to let go of them so I sleep very well. I have been doing this for a year now, and I looked back through my book and I realized that, you know what? All of my problems actually get solved. The big ones, the small ones, the ones that I didn't have solutions for, all of them got solved. And it happened within 6 months. Like 6 months isn't a very long time. I mean, whatever is your biggest problem in life, if I told you, if you knew with confidence that it's going to be solved in 6 months, you're going to find a way to live with it, right? You're going to just be like, okay, it's handled. You're not going to be stressing every day. You're just going to be like, yeah, okay. Help is on its way. It's going to take 6 months. It's going to get here. And genuinely, that's been the upper limit of my problems being solved. And I'm very grateful for that. And I don't think there's necessarily anything woo about this. I think the benefits of it are very clear. Number one is it's a creative writing exercise for you to start applying your imagination to solving your problems, because God knows we use our imagination enough to think about the worst case scenario and to blow problems out of all proportion. So this is a good way to use that imagination constructively. The other thing is, as I said, it makes you feel heard and valued and respected and seen. And those are just very good things for your self-esteem. You are less likely to perceive problems. If you're feeling good about things, if you're feeling good about yourself, then you become unshakable. You don't sweat the small stuff. But you only get there by creating a safe space like this, where you're allowed to sweat the small stuff without shame until you get used to the idea that, oh, somebody's listening. It's being acknowledged. It's being received. Okay, so now maybe I don't need to sweat the small stuff anymore. So that's good. And third, just that ritual of writing it, letting it go, making sure that you're having a good night's sleep after that instead of taking that to bed with you. Game changer, really. So this is something I can highly, highly recommend, is if you feel like things are getting a little out of control, or just you have too much going on here and you need a place to offload, may I recommend to you creating a problems journal. Okay, that is it for today. I will be back for day 3 tomorrow.